What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of Thai Tunes. This time we're covering an album very near and dear to my heart. That's right. In honor of Throwback Thursday, it's 2019's Snubnose by Grip. Now, this album actually followed his official release, Porch, which also covered the views and perspectives of gun violence and growing up in the Atlanta hood. But based off the relative success of Snubnose, Grip actually got a Shady Records deal, co-signed by Eminem, and a feature by M on his following album, I Died for This. Now, this is a really intense album. It is. It talks about the loss of life. It talks about the cycle of gun violence, but it also has just super tight storytelling, really clever wordplay, great beats, great beat switches. And it also has a really cool gun as a character motif, which I haven't heard done so well since Nas' I Gave You Power, when he personified the gun. So let's get right into it. I'm really excited about this one. He is, I am. This starts off really nicely. A beautiful chorus choir sample. Oh, what a savior. He's got some really clever bars about watching Goof Troop, but then a bullet grazed a kid who used to shoot hoops. It's nice in that sort of way, but then you get the absolutely nasty beat switch that goes into a super heavy trap banger, massive 808s, and then the pitched up vocals to let you know that this is a completely new person, Lil Snub. Lil Snub talks about the destructive nature of gun violence, but he also has a super carefree attitude. He's like, as long as you hit your target or your ops, toss me in a lake, I don't really care. The song ends setting up the youthful foolishness of kids finding a gun, and remember that because it is going to loop back on itself. Snub speaks. This is a full-on Lil Snub track. Another really heavy, super dark, maximum reverb on the bass line. This track sounds super dark. He's got some really dark lines as well, like, I get off on watching the flesh melt. I even heard atheists scream for Jesus in the face of death, and I shoot hollow tips at your hairline in my spare time. What did I tell you? The bars here are really spectacular. It's a short song, but the personification of the gun is just so well told that your jaw will literally be on the floor by the end of it. Finessin', this is another speaker blowing beat, and Grip comes in super aggressive. This man is rapping his ass off. Again, highlighting the violent nature of guns and where he grew up and the things that he had to do just to get by. And then Mick Jenkins comes in with really great feature. He's got some clever bars around shapes and a Harry Potter reference, which I can always appreciate. 226 featuring Big Rube. Now, Big Rube is an ATL legend, and he drops off some of that street knowledge and a warning about how things have gotten so bleak for his community. And he mentions, only a fool will play Russian roulette with 6 bullets. And then Grip comes in super aggressive once again, and he ends his flow with a hyperactive cadence about someone close to him getting gunned down, and him and his homies are going to be out for revenge. It ends with a gunshot, and then the cycle continues. So 3 tracks in, you really get the feeling of the environment, the hostility, and the tools and experiences that they have around them, like the guns, and doing what they need to do to get by, while still trying to heed the knowledge of the old heads like Big Rube. But the cycle just continues because people are getting gunned down. Swiss Cheese, I'm really trying not to go track by track, but this album is super packed, and 226 moves very smoothly into this beat, which sounds like a demented or crazy haunted circus or carnival beat. It's actually kind of familiar to Dope Dealer from Schoolboy Q's Blankface album, if you know, you know. It's typical braggadocio rap with Grip saying he's got hip-hop in a grip lock, so I can appreciate that one. Now, Pressed is a nice breather between all the violence and aggressive gun talk. Grip does some nice world building. He talks about his past and the things that he's had to do and how certain people around him have really folded under the pressure, but he was able to motivate it. He was able to use it to motivate him to put out this body of work. And Tech is another wild beat with like a pitched up organ. You'll know it when you hear it. Grip talks about an encounter in the club turning violent and the victim waiting in his car out back with a fully loaded Tech. The beat switches to a more calm tone, but you still get that great southern horn, that really hollow sound, and the typical trap hi-hats. It's another one where it's just like a vignette of someone out there experiencing or hearing a story about what happens in the club, what happens when you're out in the streets and you encounter someone that you don't like or someone that you've got beef with. Honestly, this is an incredible piece of work, and I'm barely just scratching the surface. If you guys want me to do a song by song review, I absolutely could, a la Dissect. But I think for this one, I'll just give you the gist of what a great piece of work this is. I tried to find a thematic through line, and really, to me, it's just a number of little vignettes. Each song or each couple of songs just talks about the experiences of gun violence. I didn't cover the whole album, but songs like No Info and Menace and Bishop Speaks all have the different perspectives and experiences of people either on one side of the gun or the other. So I encourage you to dive deep into this one if you can get past the gruesomeness and the visuals. It's such a good album. It's 6 years old, but I seriously still go back to it constantly. I can play it front to back. It's that strong. There isn't a miss whatsoever on it. It's just a bummer that he hasn't gotten more popular. Like when this album first came out, and my friends that are close to me will know, I hyped up this album and I hyped up Grip. And I took a screenshot on Spotify and I was like, this dude's going to be huge. I guarantee it. I know it. And like I said at the top, he's only got about 300,000 listeners. So we need to go and bump those numbers up for sure. He's looking to come off of the Shady Records label and put out some of his other stuff. He's got some really, really cool LPs and mixtapes. He's got features with JID and Kenny Mason. And he's recently going to pivot to more of a rock and roll, hard rock kind of alternative sound, because in an interview with Dead End Hip Hop, he kind of said like he's given his all to the hip hop space. He doesn't really have much more to say in that. So now he's pivoting to a different genre. So I'm interested to hear what that sounds like. I am also interested to hear what you guys think. Have you listened to this album? Will you listen to this album? Off my recommendation, I'd probably give this a 9 out of 10. I don't know if it's perfect, but 9 out of 10, super strong. For Throwback Thursday, I encourage you to go check this one out. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Really appreciate you guys riding with us. I want to have this dialogue. I want to know what you think. I want to know if you've picked up on themes that maybe I missed. So leave a comment below and we'll chat it up. But in the meantime, I'll catch you on the next one. Thanks for watching. Ty Tunes.